How are you doing this afternoon? My presentation this afternoon, coaching improvements. I want to talk to you a little bit today. I'm sorry if I don't have a Pachakacha presentation, because that's why they asked me back, was because I talked to you about Pachakachas last year, and that went over pretty good. But I'm going to tell you a real simple message today. How many of you work in preparing employees to do their jobs, or future employees to do their jobs? Now, here's a fascinating thing. I've been doing that myself for about 30 years, and along the way, I've discovered we don't do as good as we say we do, because there are some little flaws in our style of teaching that can definitely be improved. And before I get out of here in the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to convince you that we can do better. And you'll be able to go back this afternoon and change what you do. Okay? So here's what we're going to talk about. First of all, this all has to do with learning. It all has to do with communication. Now, how many of you are good listeners? Let's do a little test real quick to see how good a listener you think you are. Everybody get your hands up. This is a participatory presentation. As those of you can tell who have been in my classes, you will participate or I'll call on you a lot. So get ready. Get your hands in the air. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and you're going to clap after 3. Right? You got it? Are you sure? Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2. It's not about reading. It's about what they see. You did exactly what human nature says. We don't do what people tell us to do. We do what we want. Sometimes we heard, don't do as I say, or don't do as I do, do as I say, right? Or it's easier to preach a sermon than to live one, because we watch people. Now, in workforce development, it's all about getting the individual learner to see it right and to role model that behavior. But even when we do so, we make a couple of errors. So I'm going to talk to you about briefly 2 main things today. One, it's the way that we teach our employees, or soon-to-be employees. And the second one, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how many of you are supervisors or have been supervisors. See, there's this notion that we have when we do performance evaluations that, oh, that's what we do every year. If that's what you do every year, you're doing it wrong, because it ought to be going on daily. And we're going to talk to you about how that's supposed to occur and why it should occur. But first of all, I've given you some handouts, and you're thinking, what professor brings handouts that don't have words on them? I already told you my feelings on words. You know why that is. But I've got 2 sheets of paper. I'm going to show you what we do wrong in the career and technical education classroom and workforce education, and even on the job training. And it's a fatal flaw, but I'm going to show you what we do. Okay? First of all, so everybody get your 2 sheets of paper. Pass those around. That includes you, Paul O'Brien, Dean of the College of Business. I got a whole clan of Pitt State gorillas over here. I had to have my former College of Business friend. I say former because I'm a graduate of their program. And then I saw the light and went to technology. So anyway, glad to have you here, Dan. I also have several of my students in this classroom today, so glad to have you with me. Some from a long time ago. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to take the gold sheet of paper. Now, we've already shown that you're haphazard at best at listening, so close attention. I'm going to give you 6 simple steps. 6 simple steps, and all you've got to do is listen to me. All you have to do is do as I say, and you ought to be able to end up with what I tell you to make. So here we go. Take that goldenrod sheet. No, it's not a pen or a pencil thing. Take the sheet of paper up and hold it so that it looks like a diamond in front of you. I want you to take the right corner and I want you to fold it over to the left corner and crease down the center. Then I want you to open up. I want you to take that right corner. I want you to fold it along the center crease. Don't ask questions, just do what you're told. Now, take that left corner and fold it along the center crease. Now take the bottom and fold it up. What's that? I'm trying not to kick it. Cool. Okay. And then fold it up one more time about a half inch. Fold it up at the bottom up one more time about a half an inch. Okay, everybody hold up what you have. See what you got. Let me see what you have. Sir? Fantastic. Stand up. Ma'am? Out of the whole audience, and we got one right here. 4 of you. Woo! That's better. I did this in Palm Springs, California, and 350 executive managers, one got it right. I got 4 today. These are the only 4, and ma'am, these are the only ones that got it right.
What do we get?
You don't get yelled at. No. No, that's a key point. Now, and they're probably auditory learners. You can have a seat. That's great. But you know what? What happened? Why did you all fail? That's right. You didn't do what I told you to do, so you failed. Why? Why did you fail? Okay, you're being nice. Please tell me what you really thought. Yes, I didn't give good information. What else?
Couldn't ask questions.
Couldn't ask questions. What else? I went too fast. What else? I didn't show you. What?
I didn't say that.
What did she say?
She said, you talk funny.
I talk funny. I can't do anything about that. Okay, so guess what? You're probably right. I would say that your ineffectiveness to perform right the first time does not lay on your shoulders. It lays on mine. You know, saying, if the learner hasn't learned, the teacher has taught. It's about me and about how I do it. There's things I can do right. So I suspect if I do just a couple of simple things, I'm going to get better performance. So, do me a favor and take that blue sheet of paper. Okay? Same thing. 6 simple steps. But this time, if you get lost, you can ask a question. Or if you're not sure, let me know. But here we go. Take that blue sheet of paper and hold it in front of you. It looks like a diamond. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take that right corner and fold it over to the left corner and crease down the center. And when you get through, if you would, hold it up so that I can see that you've done what I asked. Okay. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take that right corner and I want you to fold it over so that it touches this left side. Now when you do, make sure it doesn't droop down or that it doesn't go up. I want it to go straight across and be about even with the bottom and touch this side over here. Okay? Once you've done that, show me. And show me the folded side so I can see and make sure your thing's not dog-eared or drooping. You're drooping just a little bit, sir. If you can help him. We're talking about the paper, sir. If you'll help him with the paper and adjust so that it comes straight across. A little better. Good. Anybody else? Look at your neighbors, make sure they're not drooping. Ma'am, blonde in the red shirt, you're drooping. If you could help her out, bring it up so it's straight across. Okay? Check each other's out. Okay, now if you will, take that left corner, do the same thing and fold it across so that it touches that corner over here. Fold it across so that it touches this corner right here. It should be even across with the other one. Okay? Show me that you've got that. How we doing there? No more jerking. We cured that. Better than Viagra. Okay, here we go. Now, I have two flats. Got two flats at the top. So, take the folded side, facing you. Take that flat nearest you and fold down over the folded side. Fold down over the folded side just like that. Take that flat nearest you and fold down over the folded side. So you got one flat left. Okay? I got that? Turn it around. Now you have the flat side with no fold showing facing you. Take that side and pull it down towards you. Okay? Could I have your glass of tea real quick? Yeah. Water or tea, whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah. You can open it up, and what you have is paper cup. Here you go, man.
But you wanted to drink.
She's going, "Want to drink out my tea?" No. But since it's there, I guess so. So, let me ask you a question. You got bourbon in that? Wow. Okay. So let me ask you a question. The first time I did it, and I had 5 or 6 of you got it right. Out of this whole group, I had 5 or 6. The last time I did it, 100% performance the first time. Now let me ask you, first of all, teachers that are in the room, how many times you ever taught a lesson and every student got your lesson and aced it the first time? Think about it. So what was the difference? Why did you do so well this time and you didn't the last time? What did I do different?
Watching you step by step.
So, I role modeled the behavior I expected to be performed. Very good. What else did I do? A couple of key things I did. What else did I do? What's that? Learn from each other. I had a little bit of peer review going on, but I also had, and that was crucial, check for understanding. See, teachers, this is like what I tell happens sometimes. A lot of times, especially those of us in university, it teach 2 and 3 hour courses sometimes. We start the lesson and we go, and Lori and Chad, yeah, I know I can go, so just be quiet. So we go, but we don't, until we get to the end, then we look at everybody and we say, any questions? Duh. They have forgotten most of the questions they had 3 hours ago, and they are lost. Some of them are still with you. It's like a teacher taking a field trip with a group of students. And they say, get on the bus. They get on the bus, they drive to Kansas City, and when they turn around, they're not all there. They've missed some of the students. Some got off in Fort Scott, some of them got off maybe at Lewisburg at the McDonald's. They're not on the bus. And I've got to drive all the way back and pick them up where they are if I want them to get where we're going. And it may take me 2 or 3 trips to make that journey. How many times have you taught a lesson 2 or 3 times to make sure your student made the journey? And how many times have I heard teachers say, man, those students are slow. I wish they'd get it. Ladies and gentlemen, I would recommend maybe you quit complaining about your students and you look in the mirror. Because if the students aren't making it, because you don't know how to drive the bus, we need to think about that. Well, I'm going to go one step further in this philosophy of teaching for skill improvement. I've noticed over the years, because I grew up in career technical education, ever since I was a teenager, I've been in a career tech ed classroom. Whether it's in learning to weld in ag, or whether it was learning to do accounting in FBLA, or whether it was learning to do woodworking in IASA or TSA or whatever it was. But every time almost, the technical teacher would do a demonstration, and we would be riveted, and we would watch them teach us how to do it step by step. But then they would say, so go take a break, and then I'll see you out in the lab, and then we'll let you practice. So we all cut off, we do our thing, we come back, and mysteriously, half the group couldn't do what we just showed them 15 minutes ago. You ever wondered why? See, the other thing besides pachakas that I know about is learning. And scientifically, we know that the further from the time that we teach a subject to the time that it is applied, the less retention. So if I want 100% retention, like I just got, I have to teach it. I have to apply it right then. So our mistake all along has been giving them that break. What should have happened is you teach it in the lab, you showed them, they demonstrated, you check, then you teach it, you check, and guess what? When you get done with the demonstration, every kid in the class, even Johnny the loudmouth in the back, has done what you've asked him to do. Now, those of you in the corporate world that do employment training, think how many billions of dollars we spend every year on employee development. Think about that. And think how much time we spend teaching and reteaching and retraining people. Right? What if we could master it so that we only teach them? And when you showed them, they remembered it and they got it right then. How much money could we save? How much time could we save? How much more could they learn if we didn't have to do the same old all the time? Do we wonder why people don't stay around? Maybe we get frustrated with our learners, but maybe they get frustrated with us. That dummy might learn how to do it right sometime. Think about it. So one way we can greatly improve our workforce in a way that they have skills and they keep their skills is we do a better job of teaching them their skills. Now some of you say, well, what do you do with a class of 20 or 30? What did I just do for check for understanding with 96 people in a room? We did peer review. I had you help each other out. I watched you as you did it. See, I can teach 50, 100, 500 people. It doesn't matter. It's called classroom management. It's about how I teach it and the methodology in which I'm delivering it in various forms. It's methodology, not rocket science. This isn't stuff I made up. This is just stuff that we learn every day in the classroom. Make sense? Chad, you're a construction worker or a carpenter, right? Does this make sense? Yeah. And it does the same whether I'm an auto technician or an engineer or an accounting major. It don't matter. It works every time if we master how we do it. So I said we're going to do two parts. Any question on that first part? 3 critical steps. Step by step. Model the behavior you want to perform. And check for understanding. Okay, let's move on to being a coach, being a supervisor. I've done a few workshops for cities and municipalities and supervisors. Ages before I was a university professor at Pitt State. In this county, that was a long time ago. Before I did that, I was in the newspaper industry. I worked over 150 employees and managed a $750,000 budget. I know a little bit about supervision.
Now guess what? We do these evaluations, these performance reviews. And unfortunately, even at the university we do them, don't we, Paul?
We do.
And we do them every year. But unfortunately, we only talk about them most of the time. How many times a year?
About one.
About one time a year. Guess what? How are you going to help somebody? Let me put it this way to you. Imagine yourself as a Little League coach. Any of you taught Little League or Pee Wee ball or soccer or anything? Now imagine yourself as a coach, right? Kid messes up. So you'd wait to the end of the season before you bring it up. Okay, you got the team. They messed up, but you're going to wait to the end of the season before you make any corrections. How many games can we win? Not too many. How much is a kid going to improve season to season if you only talk to them one time a year? Probably never. See, what do you do as a coach? If the kid messes up, you're going to talk to him right then. Well, you may not pull him out of the game, but when you get over to the sideline, you pull him aside and you talk to him. Right? And you don't say, well, here's what you've done this year, and go through the 30 things they've done wrong and maybe mention one or two things they've done right. You talk to them specifically about the thing that they messed up on. That's what a coach is. Coach is a teacher. They teach specific skills about a specific thing. See, I've got a little bit different notion than maybe we teach in the literature about mentor-coach. The reality is on a mentor, you cannot assign mentors because a mentor is a trust relationship between two people. I had a great mentor when I came to Pittsburgh State, Jess Hudson. He was in our department, and I said, I want to be like that guy. He's invigorating, he's motivating, he serves on the national board of directors, he's got national exposure. He was my mentor. He said, Mark, you ought to do this. If you want to be a professor here, you need to get your doctorate. If you want to do this, you need to go out and speak to different groups. I paid attention. Not because he told me I had to, but because I trusted him. There was a trust relationship. And there was trust my way, too, because he saw something in me that was worth, otherwise he wouldn't have wasted his time. So it was a relationship. Because how many times have we seen mentors at Pittsburgh State fail because of competition or jealousy or just didn't like that? Sometimes it works, but it's luck of the draw. Mentorship should not be luck of the draw. Mentorships are developed between two people out of respect. But guess what you can assign? A coach. If you got a person in a job that does really good, wouldn't it make sense that everybody learned to do it that good? So why not have them do the coaching? Or if you're the supervisor doing the evaluation, you be the coach for your employees and you coach them on their specific skills. So as you see them perform throughout the year, that's when you have the conversation. You don't just have the conversation every time they mess up either. Because otherwise, guess what happens? Come walking down the hall and they're thinking, oh my God, I screwed up again. What did I do this time? Instead, they should not know what you're coming to talk to them about when they see you coming. Maybe it's praise this time. Maybe it's not so good news this time. But they know that as a coach, you're going to model what I need to do to correct what I did wrong. And I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to get better. So my advice on coaching, be a T-ball coach. Coach your kids every day. Improve their skills every day. Have a conversation every day and help them get better. Because if not, it's a shame and it's a waste of their time and yours. So quit complaining about your employees. Help your employees. Coach your employees. And you will see a dramatic difference in their performance and how they do for you. Simple idea. But fundamental for improving our workforce. Because the goals that you talked about earlier, developing a workforce that's ready to go for 21st century skills, takes the fundamental to make it happen. What questions do you have? Any questions about what I've shared? I want to share a little story with you real quick, because it's about time for me to quit. share a little story with you. You know how simple this story is? I had a cool thing, and I'll brag on this a little bit to my students who had my professional presentations from. I went to Palm Springs, California in February and talked to 450 executives of fund management programs. They oversee the apprenticeship programs in all of North America. There were about 350 people in the room. It was at the Mission Hills Resort there where they played PGA, Palm Springs. And so we're in the ballroom, we got 350 people. And I did just what I just did to you. And as I said, I had one guy get it right. And nobody else did. But the next time, all 350 people got it right. Well, when we got through, I had 3 people come up to me afterwards. And Paul knew this, I think I'm sure this, but it's just too true for reality. This is simple stuff, right? But I had 3 people from IATSE. Anybody know what that is? The International Association of Stage Technicians. They said, we represent the entertainment industry. I'm Elizabeth, and I am from New York City. This is Liz, she's from Hollywood. And this is Paul from Las Vegas. We want you to come tell our people how to do it right. So in July, they're flying me to Burbank, California, 3 blocks from Universal Studios, and 5 blocks from Disney, to do train-the-trainer sessions to show them how to do this simple stuff and improve their performance for their workers. See, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't have to be rocket science and new inventions. What has to be is useful, pragmatic, and important. And they see it as changing the way they do things because they've complained for years on how long it takes to train people and get them up to speed and do those things. And they saw this as a revelation. To me, it's just common sense. So, ladies and gentlemen, think about it. Think about what you've done and what you can do in the future. And I guarantee you, if you follow these basic steps, you will see greater performance of your students, greater performance of your employees, and greater success for your organization. Because it's simple as that. Communication is key. Thank you very much for letting me